Little Princess. I want my sledge. Say hello to the little princess. The king and queen's royal mischief lives in an enormous castle, topped off with turrets and towers. Inside, there are lots of friends waiting to play the day away, from the maid to the prime minister. But the little princess's best adventures are with Gilbert, her teddy, and her pets Scruff and Puss. What will she get up to next? I want my sledge. Tony Ross. The little princess hummed happily as she finished off her snowman.
He needs a carrot, she decided, for his nose.
She began to hunt around, then glanced over to her sledge. Maybe she'd have a ride on that instead.
It goes really fast, giggled the little princess. Once we even...
The chef tapped her on the shoulder.
Un carrot. Thank you,
gasped the little princess, dazzled by the chef's shiny snowsuit. The chef's outfit was matched by an even shinier, sporty new sledge. He gently slid the contraption up to the top of the hill and climbed aboard.
Un, deux, trois, wahoo!
He flew past so quickly, Scruff's ears flapped in the breeze.
Huh?
The little princess ran for the castle.
Dad! She cried. I want a new sledge!
But you already have a sledge,
said the king, looking up from his book.
I only made it last year.
It's too slow,
argued the little princess.
It's quite fast enough for you.
The little princess frowned crossly.
I need a new one.
You can't have everything you want,
replied the king.
No.
The little princess was furious. As she sat sulking on her old sledge, the chef whizzed past again and again on his new one.
I want a sledge like that.
Kerplop!
She pulled the carrot out of the snowman's face and munched on it angrily.
Why won't Dad buy me one?
The little princess took one more look at the snowman, then started to grin. The little princess burst into the dining room, clutching the snowman's coin.
I'm going to buy a new sledge with my own money.
I'm afraid that's not enough.
The king sighed.
What's wrong with the old sledge? It's so much fun.
The little princess didn't care.
A new one would be faster and shinier.
The king had finally agreed to help the little princess go faster. He'd been busy with his toolkit for ages.
Hurry up, Dad!
At last, he stepped back to reveal the same old sledge.
I've polished the skis,
said the king proudly.
And look, I gave it a bell.
The little princess wasn't impressed. The king tried not to notice.
Let's go and test it.
Aww.
The little princess and the king climbed aboard.
See?
Chuckled the king.
It's perfectly good.
The sledge trundled slowly down the slope, then gently zigzagged through the trees. As it came to a halt, a blue blur shot past them. It was the chef on his shiny new sledge. The king gulped.
All right, you can have a new one.
Whoopee!
Shrieked the little princess.
Come and see what I've got,
the little princess called out a few hours later. Scruff woofed in admiration.
Woof, woof.
The sledge was enormous, shiny, and very, very fast. It was also incredibly hard for the little princess to push.
Shall I come too?
Beamed the king.
No thanks,
cried the little princess.
I want to do it by myself.
It took a long time for the little princess to heave the new sledge up the hill. At the top, she threw Teddy Gilbert inside,
then used her crown as a step to push herself in. She stood up to take a deep breath. Here we go! At the bottom of the slope, the Admiral peered through his telescope and gasped.
Oh! Enemy attack!
Look out! Screamed the little princess. She ducked down, but the sledge kept going faster and faster and faster. Crash! The little princess crawled out of the sledge, then rubbed the snow off. It's not the sledge, said the little princess. The pond shouldn't be there. The Admiral was aghast. I'm going to have another go, the little princess shouted breezily over her shoulder as she struggled back up the side of the hill and set off again. This is better, she squealed. Uh-oh! This time, the sledge careered right through the compost heap. She and Gilbert were soon hurtling back down the hill. Sledging was starting to become very hard work. Time for another go, muttered the little princess. The snowman! Yelled the little princess. No! But it was too late. Right! She shouted. That does it! I've had it with this new sledge! That looks nice, whispered the little princess.
It's a nice little sledge,
nodded the king.
How's the new one?
The little princess explained that she was finding the new sledge difficult to handle.
Maybe you need to be a bit bigger, Poppet.
Or maybe I need a sledge that's a bit smaller. The king patted the old sledge, then handed the reins to the little princess. The little princess fluffed up her cushion, then turned back to Gilbert. Are you nice and comfy? It was time to relaunch her wonderful old sledge, and the entire royal household had turned out. Whee! The little princess whooped with excitement as she slid down the slope. Look at me, princess! Giggled the maid, snowboarding down on a tea tray. Everyone had found their own way to enjoy the snow. It was stacks of fun.
With or without a sledge.